Ever wondered why Kodak and Borders is now a shell of their former self? Or why after 20 years the US has failed to make lasting change in Afghanistan? One thing for sure, it is not for the lack of tries. Millions of man hours are being spent and millions more of dollars are being put in place to make change happen, which did not translate any lasting transformation, simply because of failure in managing change. I'm Yazid, and today we're going to talk about managing lasting and sustainable change. The kind of change that brings value using the tried and tested EPICS change management framework. The EPICS change management framework focuses on adoption and building self-sustaining model using the 5-step process beginning from enabling, planning, implementing, and continuity as well as sustainability of change. The fact is, change does not happen spontaneously. Enabling change requires us to prepare for change. And we prepare for change by establishing the case of change. This requires clarity in story on why change is required. The case of change is first and best conceived by your transformation team, and later aided by the local change agent, the very people who understand the lay of the land. Together with your change agents, develop your change plan. Planning your change requires you to first conduct CIA or Change Impact Assessment. CIA is where you identify who are the key stakeholders and who among them would experience the greatest impact towards change, positively or negatively. The goal is try to identify negatively impacted stakeholders and plan for interventions to minimize change resistance from them. The goal of the interventions is actually to change behaviors, and behaviors can be changed through designing your change program to foster conviction and understanding, to develop skills and talents, to convince the use of leaders as role models, as well as the reinforcing mechanism of change in terms of structures as well as work process. Now, once the plans are in place, it is time for the I in the EPICS. And I here stands for the implementation of change. It is worth a while to note here that while change interventions is bespoke to each stakeholders, many would follow the same general rules of approach. Having the cell or communication, engagement, and learning library helps in turbocharging your change implementation. Change also is important to be measured, and those that can't be measured cannot be quantified without measurement of effectiveness of this change. To help this, the continuity part in the change element measures the effectiveness of change towards the subject or the organization that we are planning to change. The metrics to measure the continuity of change can be summarized into the case element. Case stands for C as capability, A as adoption, S for sustainability, and E as an engagement. Together, the case element measures the continuity of change that are happening in the organization. The ultimate goal for EPICS or any change program is for the change to be sustained. In EPICS, sustained change means that the solution and process or changes is self-sustained and can continuously have the life in itself. So as the change can continuously provide value to the person and organization, sustained change is of utmost importance. In sustained change, actions are taken to ensure change is independent of the people who started the change. The new ways of working and improvements are constantly being measured and constantly being made is a sustained change success. Depending on actions and cases, items that are included in sustained change ranges from gamification to institutionalization of work process and putting on permanent teams to invoke sustainable change across the organization that we intend to change. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the EPICS Change Management Framework. Through enabling, planning, implementing, continuity measurement, and sustained change, you are now in the driver's seat, in control, in driving adoption and changing your organization to your desired state. Driving value, taking your team and organization to the next level is the goal of EPICS. With EPICS, you are now one step closer to transforming you, your organization, and your team to the desired state. To learn more about change management, please feel free to contact me or subscribe my channel below to know more.